Hi, this is Mashnu, and here is a second video with a series of exercises to actually help you exercise your tactical vision. So the idea is just like in the previous one, that you pause the video now and try to find the winning line here for white. So what's the winning move here? And calculate the variation until you are sure that it gives you a winning position. Alright, so I'm going to give you the solution now. It has to do with the pin, actually the pin of the bishop on d7 by the rook. So what we do here is we need to attack this bishop one more time, and it's not very easy to do that, but there is a way by capturing the rook on f5. So the variation goes like this: rook takes f5, and after black retakes we can play e6 now, attacking the bishop on d7. It cannot run away because of the pin, and queen takes d4 doesn't help because we simply retake the queen, and then still there is a pin on d7. So that means that black is going to lose a piece. Stopping the pin is not on time because we take here simply with pawn, and we are a piece up, and this beautiful passed pawn is going to be decisive. So that's the solution of this first exercise. We're going to the next one now. Here is position number 2. So again, pause the video and try to find a way to win for white. Okay, so this again has to do with the pin, but it's not very clear at the moment what the pinned piece is. If we look at these three pieces, we see a pattern here. So if this knight would not be there on d4, we could say that the queen on f6 is pinned. The solution of this exercise is the following: it's rook takes d3. After black retakes, now we have a check on e6, so there is a second sacrifice. Now the queen is pinned, so the queen cannot take the knight, but of course black can take it with the pawn. And now this pin on f6 becomes very important because white has the beautiful move rook to c7 check, forcing the king to move away from the defense of the queen of f6. The queen is pinned, so cannot be placed in between. The rook cannot be placed in between because it would be taken. So black has to play the king to g8 or h8 or h6, and actually wherever it goes, queen takes f6 follows, and white has a won position. So we'll move on now to the third example. There we are. Here is the position, so pause the video and try to find the winning continuation for black now. Alright, I wanted to show you this example because it has two tactical themes. The first one is the so-called crosspin. We see that this bishop on e4 is pinned, so it cannot move except for taking on b7, and by the move queen to f5, black makes a second pin on this diagonal. So the bishop is not allowed to take here on f5 because of this pin, and taking the bishop would lose the queen. Of course, white can try to defend this bishop once more because white is threatening to black is threatening to take on e4, so white can play, for example, knight to c3. Now if this happens, then black simply puts more pressure on this pinned bishop by the move rook to e8. Still, white can defend e4 once more with rook to e1, and now comes the second theme in this example. It's the so-called reloader. A reloader means that we take one piece here, and after white retakes, we reload the attack with the other rook. So we bring another attacker to the same point. And now we see that this knight on e4 is attacked 3 times and defended only 2 times, and it's impossible for white to defend it a 3rd time. So in the next move this knight will be taken and black will have achieved a won position. Alright, we're going to move on to the last example, and that one will be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so here it is. It's not too difficult. I think you can find this if you just have a good look. It's a little bit more difficult than the previous examples, but it's not too difficult. Find the winning move for black. Okay, so we have actually again the theme of the pins here. And the beauty of this example is that it actually black makes the first move in order to create a pin, because in the position right now only the pawn on g2 is pinned. So we can say that the bishop on f3 is only defended by the rook and the queen, not by the pawn, because it's pinned. Now taking this bishop right now wouldn't lead to anything, because then simply white retakes with the rook and there is nothing going on. So if we go back, what black has to do here is to create a pin by playing rook to e1. That's the best move in the position. Threatens to take the queen, so there's only one way to reply, and thus queen takes e1. And now we see that there is a new pin here. The rook now on f2 is pinned. That means that this bishop on f3 is no longer defended by the rook, and it was already not defended by the pawn on g2 because it was pinned. So we can play here knight takes f3, check. If rook takes f3, then we take the queen, and if the king moves aside, we can give a checkmate here. If it moves to f1, then we can simply capture the white queen. So this is the winning continuation. Okay, I hope you enjoyed these exercises, and I actually came with the idea of making these videos with this, well, not too difficult tactical themes, because I've noticed that many players study on a very high level positional chess. So things about strong squares and outposts and open lines, and of course that is very important, but in practice we see that many games are decided because of this type of tactical ideas. So if you study strategy and positional chess on a high level, and you lose your own games because you miss tactical patterns at a lower level, then it's not going to help. So we need to do both things. We need to study the understanding of positional chess, and we also need to practice actually daily this type of tactical ideas, small combinations, because they happen a lot, really a lot, in our own games. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.